Hello everybody, it's Heather here. Hi replay viewers who are going to be watching this here on Facebook or YouTube later. We are posting these on YouTube now. I'll just wait a few minutes to see if we've got some people tuning in to be live. But I'm here with Pippin and this is going to be Nighttime Tales. Our theme is Canada today. Oh, we've got somebody on. I'll just set this up here for a second and try and get this going on the laptop here. So let's see. Hello there, Rebecca and my niece and nephew Ariel and Easton. Hey guys, how are you? Here's Pippin here with us. She's sitting so nice and participating. Let's see, just getting this set up on the laptop. Oh, we've got a few more viewers. Hey everybody. So I'm Heather here with Nighttime Tales today, and we are gonna be doing some Canada stuff. Today's theme is Canada. Let's see. I don't know why I'm trying to get this going on the laptop. Maybe I'll stick this here for a second. Trying to find this on the laptop because I'm going to be flipping the camera around like I did last time. So let's see. Oh, there I am. Okay. So now I'll be able to see your comments on the computer screen. Hi Bryn and Julia and family, hope you guys are doing well. How's everybody doing at your house? Let me know. And Pippin's still here with us. Come over here, Pip. Good girl. Can you sit? Oh, she's gonna go that way. I'm in the craft room today, so Pippin might be in and out. I do have the door closed, so she's in here with me, but she'll come in and out of screen as we do this. So I'm going to flip this around and I'll still, so that way let me just make sure, yep, okay. That way the book won't be backwards when I start reading. So we're gonna start with our hello song. Oh, Julia and Bryn are doing well. That's good to hear, you guys. I'm glad we're doing well here too. So we're gonna start with our hello song. So you can sing along with me at home. And this is the bread and butter song. So it goes, bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slowly as we can. Hello. Good job. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quickly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as loudly as we can. Hello! Hope you shouted really loud in your house. Good job. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quietly as we can. Hello. Good job. Today I've got my blue pajamas on. These are kind of wintry with trees and deer and snowflakes, but it's kind of wintry outside today. Well, it was snowing more yesterday here at my house, but today it's starting to melt, so that's good. I've also got my bear slippers on with my claws, so I hope you guys are all dressed up in your comfy pajamas as well. Oh, I see Melissa joined. Hey there. Okay, so today's theme for Canada. I was going to do Easter this week, of course, because Easter's coming up this weekend. But when I stopped by the library, I could not find any of the Easter books. I don't know if one of our staff has them all or what happened or if I'm just blind. I don't know. But today's theme is Canada because that's the books I could find. So here is the first one. This is called Carson Crosses Canada by Cass Reach and Linda Bailey. And does anybody have any guesses who Carson is here? I'll let you look at the cover a little bit. And let's get started. So here's a nice map of Canada. We've got the route down here as well, Carson and Annie's route, and it says the numbers of all the places they go. So we might reference back to that as well. Here's the beginning of their journey. All right, Carson crosses Canada. Annie Magruder and her little dog Carson lived in the town of Tofino. Every day they walked beside the great Pacific Ocean. They loved the salt air, they loved their red house, and they loved their sweet life together. Then one day Annie got a letter. "Pack your suitcase," she told Carson. "My sister Elsie's sick and she needs some cheering up." Carson didn't have a suitcase, but he got very excited when Squeaky Chicken went into the car. Annie packed camping gear and dog food. She filled a cooler with bologna sandwiches. Then she and Carson piled into the car and drove east. So here they are on the very far west coast of Tofino in BC, Canada. There they are walking on their beach. I see another deer here. So Carson's excited for his trip across Canada. All morning they drove in the rattle-bang car. Carson scratched at the door. Were they there yet? "Oh no," said Annie. "It's a very long way, all the way across Canada. But there's a surprise when we get there. For you, Carson." Carson loved surprises. Squeaky Chicken had been a surprise. Every time Carson chewed, he got a brand new noise. Squee! Wee! Ee! Pippin just jumped when I made those noises. "Pippin, do you want a treat? Come here." See if we can get her to participate in story time. "This is for you. Good girl." Oh, she spit it out. "Come here. These are your favorite. Come here." "Okay. You can have it, okay?" I don't know. She's not having it today. She was sitting on my lap right before story time, but she's not interested anymore. "Come here." Oh, maybe she is. "Come lay down. Lay down." On they drove along twisty roads through mountains as high as the sky. "The Rockies," said Annie. "If we were younger, we could climb them." "Woof," said Carson. "You're right," said Annie. "It would be rough." That night she put up their tent in the woods. Carson watched out for bears. No bears came, but Carson was ready. That's a good dog, hey? Just standing guard from the bears. Pippin is getting more interested in this story as we go. This is good. Don't lick the book though, Pippin. It's a library book. We don't lick library books. Oh, Olivia's on. Hi there, Arya and Maya. I'm sure you're there. Let me know how you're doing today. They rolled on down to a land of lumpy humps. "Hoodoos," said Annie. "This is Dinosaur Country." When Carson saw the giant bones, he got very excited. Was this his surprise? But before he could take a single bite, Annie dragged him away. "Settle down, boy," she said. Carson had never imagined a bone could get that big. Look at those bones. Maybe we'll move a little closer because I see that the book is kind of small in screen. Hopefully this helps. And sorry if there's some glare there. Oh, Olivia says hi. Hi there. Do you guys know where this is? This is Dinosaur Country. Let's see on the map. So, this is number 4, Dinosaur Provincial Park, which is right close to us where we are. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been to the Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller, or if you've been to Drumheller and seen some of these hoodoos. Let me know in the comments. Next day, the land flattened out. Grain grew in carpets, yellow, blue, gold. "Oh my," said Annie when they stopped for lunch. "Will you look at that sky?" But Carson was looking at the ground. There were grasshoppers everywhere. It took most of his lunchtime to catch one. He ate it for dessert. That's pretty funny. Doggies eating grasshoppers. The next day was a scorcher. That's what Annie said. The sun beat hard on the highway. Carson drooped all over. When he saw the lake, he was so happy he tried to leap out the window. Annie held him back. "Hang on, boy," she said. Soon they were both in Lake Winnipeg. Carson dog paddled up to Annie and gave her a lick on the nose. For one cool blue moment, they were exactly the same size. That looks like fun, swimming in the big lake. So this is Lake Winnipeg, which is in Manitoba, right there on the map. So, do you think they're about halfway to where they want to be? I think so. Let's see. After that, there were days of rocks and trees. Carson thought the trees would never end. He barked and barked out the window. Where was his surprise? Annie gave him a pat. It's still a long way to Elsie's. That night they listened to the loons. Ooh, 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 hoo, hoo. "Oh my," said Annie. "Canada, such a grand land to cross." That looks beautiful, doesn't it? Look at that sunset. Wow, I would like to be there. And then came a grand sight indeed, a wall of water thundering down a cliff. Carson yapped in amazement. He was used to water that stayed flat. He and Annie watched till they were soaked all over. Then Annie went to buy a souvenir at Niagara Falls. Carson found a grassy spot and left a little souvenir of his own. What do you think he's doing in that picture, guys? What souvenir is he leaving? Let me know if you have a guess what he's doing there. Next came a lively old city where people called Carson a chien. That's dog in French, whispered Annie. They sat at a cafe and ordered a pie filled with pork. It was called tourtière. Carson didn't care what it was called, as long as it had meat. He ate that pie in 2 bites. Where did Pippin? Oh, Pippin's over there still. She's behind the camera, but she's paying close attention. Did you guys know that they speak French in Canada? There's a province named Quebec where that's their main language. So instead of speaking English like we do here, they speak French all the time. But I think pretty much most or all of them know English as well. And still they kept on driving. Carson was half asleep when Annie let out a yell. "Look, the Atlantic Ocean!" Carson jumped up and ran right to the water's edge. It smelled like the ocean back home. He sat with Annie and watched the tide go out. It left a sea of mud as far as the eye could see. "Oh no," cried Annie suddenly. "Carson, don't you dare!" But Carson couldn't help himself. He rolled all over the seabed. Best mud ever. Look at him, he's getting so muddy. Silly pup. My dog likes to do that too. She rolls in the mud. The next day they crossed to an island of red and green. "Just like a postcard," said Annie. She stopped at a beach to buy lobster rolls. Carson ate his in 1 gulp. "We're getting close," said Annie. "I hope you'll like your surprise." But Carson knew what he'd really like. Annie's lobster roll. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? And look how pretty it is. There's a lighthouse over here. Very pretty, and a cute house there. It looks like beautiful land. I love these illustrations. "We're almost there," said Annie as they left the island. In the campground that night there was fiddle music, so friendly and fast it made everyone dance. Annie clapped and jigged. Carson chased his tail. "Tomorrow," whispered Annie as they snuggled in their tent. What do you think? Are they gonna arrive tomorrow? They must be getting close. Let's see. Let's look at the front here. I think so. We know they went through Quebec. I think they ate their lobster here at Prince Edward Island. And I believe that one was Nova Scotia here. Or maybe here. I lost track, but they're getting close. Let's see. The rattle-bang car drove onto a ferry, and at last they were finally there. A house stood waiting beside the ocean. It was red like a house back home. Out came a woman who looked like Annie. Her steps were slow, but her smile was as wide as the sea. "Oh, my dear," cried Elsie, and she hugged Annie hard. "I am some glad to see you." The hugging went on for a very long time. Carson let out a yip. "Oh," said Annie, "do you want your surprise? Look, there he is." What do you think Carson's surprise is going to be? Does anyone know? Rebecca says, Ariella's horrified that he's pooping. Yeah, he was pooping. That, have you ever seen a picture of a dog pooping in a book? Let's see if we can go back to it. So, if you were right, Ariella, he sure was pooping. I can't find that picture now. I don't know. But yes, Carson was pooping in the book. That is very inappropriate, isn't it? Okay, here comes his surprise. Does anybody see where his surprise is? Do you think that's another puppy coming? Carson stared. His surprise was a dog who looked so much like Carson, it was like looking in a mirror. "It's your brother," said Annie. "Digby, do you remember?" Carson barked with delight. This was even better than Squeaky Chicken. Carson hadn't seen his brother since they were pups. He couldn't believe how handsome Digby had grown. Look how cute that is. He's so happy. I don't even know who's who. So, oh, Carson's here with the green collar. So this one's Carson with the green collar, and this is Digby with the yellow. As they unpacked the rattle-bang car, Elise smiled. She said seeing Annie and Carson was the best medicine in the world. In the days that followed, they walked together beside the great Atlantic Ocean. Annie and Elsie, Carson and Digby. They loved the salt air, they loved the red house, and they loved their sweet time together. It was grand. And look, Carson here in the green collar sharing his Squeaky Chicken with Digby. So cute. Ooh, do you guys know what that is? I see a cool animal in the ocean, and I see this guy. This looks like it's probably a puffin. That's pretty cool. The end. And here's their whole route. So they started over here in Tofino and drove all the way across Canada. Let's look at the front map to see this half of it. All the way across Canada and up to here. And they have the great view of the Atlantic Ocean. Amazing. So that was Carson Crosses Canada. I hope you guys liked that one. I think next we will do a yoga pose. So usually in my program, when it's in the library, I let the kids pick a yoga pose off of my printouts here. But because you're not here with me, I think I will just pick for us and see what we can do. I'll pick one that we can hopefully all see on camera. How about the triangle pose to start off? So we'll stand up. I think I'm probably cut off here, but just try your best to repeat what I'm doing. Pippin, do you want to come here? Come here. We'll see if she'll do it with us. Here's a treat. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm very cut off, but we will spread our feet apart, and then we will put our one hand down on our foot and reach up high with our other hand like this. And we'll take some deep breaths. Breathe in and out. And in and out. Good job. Okay, let's switch sides. So keeping your feet spread apart, we'll touch our other foot and put our other hand in the air. And we'll take some deep breaths. Breathe in and and out, and in, and out. Pippin liked that, I think. Did you like that one, Pippin? Come here. Should we do a stretch? If you've got a dog with you, you can try to do this with your dog. Here's what I like to do. Pippin likes to put her paws up on my shoulders. If you've got your sibling with you, you can do this with your sibling. Put your hands on each other's shoulders, and we'll stand up on our knees as high as we can. She's done with it. So on your knees, put your arms in the air. Take some deep breaths. Breathe in and out, and in and out. Good job. All right, I think we did some nice stretches. We've got one more quick story and then we'll get on to our craft. If you haven't gathered your craft supplies yet, maybe your parent who you're with will gather it while we're reading our last story here. So I posted, I will try to always post the craft and the supplies in the discussion of the event page. So the event is on our Strathmore Library Facebook page. You click events and then you click discussion, and I'll have the post each week of what we're doing. And I will try to post it on the weekly just post that goes up on our feed on Facebook as well. So that's where you can find the craft info. But for today we're making a wind capture, so you need a cup, either paper or plastic, and then whatever you want to decorate it with. So some ribbons, some string, whatever you have, maybe coloring things if you want to color on the cup. Mine is a plastic cup, so I'll just be gluing stuff on it. But yeah, that's what you can gather while we read our last story. Okay, so this one is called "O Canada, Our National Anthem." Has anyone heard our anthem before? I hope you've heard our anthem. I know I hear it mostly when I go to hockey games or watch hockey games, but I'm sure you guys sing it at school as well, so that's really good. And this doesn't have an author because it's just our anthem, but the publisher is North Winds Press, and that's a division of Scholastic Canada. Oh, Pippin's coming here to check out this story. Thank you, Pippin. Oh, Canada! Look at that mountain. Pippin, what did I say? We don't lick library books. Our home and native land. So we've got prairie, city, and lots of people of all different kinds. Oops, I'm holding it kind of low, aren't I? Sorry, I'll try to hold it a bit higher. Oh, I need to perfect my setup here in the craft room. True patriot love. So patriot is someone who loves their country. Here's some RCMP people, I think. In all thy son's command. And we've actually updated our national anthem, so this line is changed. Now it says, in all of us command. I believe that's what it is. And there's an RCMP and a boy and some statues, and look at these cute kids on their pumpkins. Lots of Canadian things with glowing hearts. Look at that glowing sun, glowing just like our hearts. We see thee rise. This looks like probably the CN Tower, but we have a tower in Calgary that looks similar called the Calgary Tower. Has anyone been there before? Here's some trees, beautiful trees. In Canada we have all different kinds of trees. Their leaves change color in the fall. The true north, strong and free. So up north in Canada, in some places near here where we live, you can see the northern lights as well. So those are lights in the night sky that look all green and beautiful. some polar bears, some snowboarding. From far and wide, oh Canada. Look at those horses racing, the water crashing, more beautiful mountains. There's a train. That says CP Rail. That's the train that goes through Canada. We stand on guard for thee. Look at these guys playing hockey. That's of course very Canadian. Here's a beaver and some boats. This is probably somewhere on the east coast, I'm guessing. God keep our land. There's some beautiful sunset or sunrise, some farming, a caribou. I think it's caribou or an elk, I'm not sure. Glorious and free. We've got a beautiful hot air balloon and some Canadian geese, of course. We talked about these last week too, how they fly in a V formation. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. We've got another goose here. We're making maple syrup here. This is a festival in Quebec, I think. And we've got some Aboriginal people. We've got a girl, I think, playing goalie. And this, I believe, is in Ottawa, in our capital. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. More beautiful landscape. And then this book has got the music in the back. So if you play, if you can read music or play music, that's awesome. And then here is the history of our song, our national anthem, and about the French words, and more about the English. So that is our national anthem in Canada. Okay, I think we will do our craft next. So let me just switch this over here. And we're going to, what's the best way to set this up here? Let me see. Maybe, I'll switch the view again. Sorry, switching around a bunch. Okay, so this is the craft stuff that you will need if you've got some of this in your home. That's perfect. I'm just finding stuff to prop up the camera here. Let's see. Yeah, thank you, Chandra. That is a neat book, isn't it? Okay, well, this isn't working very well. Okay, I might have to just prop you. Ooh, that's really close up. This is not going well. Okay, I might have to try this craft one-handed. Basically what you need, I've got a cup here, so you can use a plastic cup or a paper cup. I've collected a bunch of ribbons from my collection that are either red, black, or neutral colors, so all Canada colors. And I've even got some skate laces in here, which is perfect for Canada. Some more string here. I've got some paper, which I think I'll stamp on. I just happen to have these Canadian themed stamps. I've got this red and black napkin, which I think I'm going to glue onto my cup. And then I've got a stapler and a hole punch to attach the ribbons along the bottom. So your wind sock will hang like this. The cup will be upside down, and you'll want to attach a string here to hang it with. And then the rest of the ribbons or whatever you have will dangle off the bottom. You could also use paper to do that. And I've got some punches here that I might use. So let's see, how am I gonna do this? I might put the phone like this. Let me see if I can get it to stay there somehow. Is that gonna work? I think that will work. Let's see. Okay, so it's kind of sideways here, but I'm just gonna do what I can. and you guys can follow along and make your own windsock with me, or you can gather the supplies and do it later. But it'd be really awesome if you do make the craft. I would love to see pictures, so feel free to tag the Strathmore Library in them, or you can post it in this feed and share the craft that you made right here in this feed. So I've got my napkin here. I think I'm just gonna peel it apart. Let's see, that should work. I guess I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just seeing how it goes. Okay, I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of glue on this, and we'll just glue it onto our cup. So if you have a paper cup, it'll probably be easier to decorate it because you can draw on the paper cup, or you can glue stuff to it. But for my plastic cup, I can't really draw on it easily anyways, so I'm gonna glue this onto it so it has more of a papery surface. And let's get some scissors in here to trim this. And cut that part off too. So then I'll just flatten it out and put some glue on the top there. Let me know in the comments what you guys have been doing at home to stay busy. I'd love to know what you're all doing on your time at home, whether you're parent or child. Let me know what each of you are doing and what you've been keeping busy with so that I can get some ideas. I just planted some seeds. I think I'll let Pippin out of the room right now. I'll be right back here. Wanna go out? Okay, go out there. Pippin says goodbye. She was getting a little antsy being locked in the craft room here. Oh, I see Vanessa's on. Nice to see you, Vanessa. So yeah, I planted some I planted some seeds that are different kinds of things that you may be wondering what I'm doing here. This is my heavy duty hole punch thing, and if you don't have one like this, just a single hole punch would work good, or you can get your parent to help you use scissors to punch some holes. But yeah, be very careful when you're doing this. And I'm just punching a bunch of holes around the bottom of my cup so I can tie the ribbon on. And then I guess it doesn't reach as close to the top as I wanted it. So I think I'll just poke some holes. I think I will, let's see, I've got a tack here. We'll try this. Oh yeah, that went in. So I need it to be a little bigger, so I'll use my scissors. Oops, that got really big. There, got a hole there. So you can do that technique too if you don't have a hole punch. Just get a little hole started with a tack or something pointy, and then it's easier to get the scissors in to make the hole bigger like that. Okay, so for my hanging piece, I think I'll just hang it with this black. Ooh, that's stretchy. Yeah, I'll use that one, the stretchy one, and just feed it through both holes so that both ends are in there, and then I'll tie it in a little knot. Oops. There we go. So then we've got a way to hang our cup so we can hang it in a tree or in our window if we don't want to put it outside. And then I'm just going to tie on some of these ribbons. So you can either tie them like I'm doing, or I might also staple a few on. So I think I only need a half knot for that one. Cut it at an angle so it's a little easier to poke through the hole. And just tie it. So I think you got the idea. I'm gonna finish mine off camera here, and I hope that you enjoyed this Nighttime Tales session. And again, let me know what you thought of the books, and post a picture of your craft in the comments of this live feed, or just tag the library wherever you're sharing it, and I would love to see your crafts. And I would love any pictures you have of your kids doing these programs. We love to see as well, so that's always really fun to get feedback through photos. So really appreciate that. Thank you for coming. For everybody who stuck around, thank you so much. And I will be doing a program on Friday. It is Good Friday, but I'll still be doing Little Explorers because I want to, and it's really fun. So on Good Friday, the theme will also be Canada. And I don't think I've posted the STEAM experiment we're doing yet, but I will do that in the next day or so. So keep an eye out on the post on our news feed as well as in the event for Little Explorers. So check that out. And tomorrow is Budding Bookworms with Carolyn at 10:30, so make sure you stop by for that as well. Thanks everybody, good to see you here, and I hope you're doing well. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.